Have you ever felt like you are fighting against an invisible tide, where every effort only seems to generate more resistance and exhaustion? In Buddhism, this friction is a reflection of a mind that hasn't yet recognized its own nature and is lost in the illusion of separation. At a quantum level, this means your electromagnetic field is out of harmony, emitting frequencies of lack that only collapse more of the same limiting scenarios. The great secret that ancient masters and modern physics share is that the universe does not respond to what you ask for, but to what you vibrate. When you finally decide to choose yourself, a phase shift occurs in your consciousness, transforming mental noise into a pure, resonant note. It is at this exact moment of inner alignment that resistance dissolves, allowing the geometry of life to organize itself without any effort. Anchoring yourself in the right energies is not an external search for power, but the recognition that you are the 0 point from which all reality emanates. By harmonizing the wisdom of emptiness with the precision of wave function collapse, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the conscious architect of your destiny. Prepare to discover how the act of choosing yourself opens the portals of a universe that has always been waiting for you. In quantum mechanics, the wave function represents an infinite ocean of possibilities where all paths coexist in a state of superposition. In the context of your journey, this means that all versions of who you can be already exist right now, just waiting for the observer's gaze. As long as you don't choose yourself, your reality remains in a mist of uncertainty and unfulfilled potentials, floating without a defined direction. Choice is the trigger that pulls your life out of the state of abstraction and manifests it into raw matter. Choosing yourself is the supreme act of conscious observation that forces the universe to collapse one of these infinite waves into a solid experience. For Buddhism, this movement resembles the awakening of Bodhisattva, the clear intention that dissipates the shadows of doubt and mental hesitation. When you hesitate, the wave function remains open, scattering your vital energy into scenarios that never actually materialize. Defining your internal value is what organizes quantum chaos into a coherent structure of destiny. This transition from possibility to reality does not require physical effort, but an unshakable firmness in your own frequency of being. The universe does not have a will of its own that opposes yours. It is a malleable mirror awaiting your vibrational instruction. By anchoring yourself in the decision that you are worthy and capable, you emit a signal that commands the atoms around you. The collapse of the wave function is, ultimately, the moment when the mind recognizes its role as creator. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that suffering arises from our identification with transitory illusions and choices made by the ego. However, by choosing yourself from a place of pure awareness, you align your intention with emptiness itself, where everything is possible. This is not a superficial desire, but a profound recognition that your essence is the same substance the stars are made of. It is the end of internal fragmentation, where the observer and the observed become a single force of light. When this alignment occurs, the universe has no choice but to open up, for you have stopped sending contradictory signals to the field. The resistance you felt before was just the noise of a wave function trying to manifest in multiple directions at once. By collapsing reality onto the frequency of your inner power, you establish a new timeline where flow is the rule. Life stops being a battle against the external and becomes a harmonious dance with the whole. Synchronicity is not an isolated event of luck, but the physical manifestation that you and the quantum field are operating on the same frequency. When you anchor your energy in a state of self-affirmation, the universe responds through entanglement, connecting people and situations to your new vibration. What once seemed impossible now emerges as a meaningful coincidence, drawing a path of least resistance toward your goals. It is the mathematical proof that the external world is a direct extension of your internal sanctuary. In Buddhism, this resonance is understood through the law of karma, which is the vibrational echo of every intention and action we emit into the void. By choosing yourself and cultivating a clear mind, you clear the distortions that prevented life from flowing with naturalness and abundance. It is not about looking for something outside, but about tuning into the correct station so the music of the universe can be heard. When your internal frequency is one of integrity, the reality around you has no choice but to harmonize with you. Imagine that you are a tuning fork emitting a pure note of confidence and inner power in the vast ocean of existence. Through sympathetic resonance, only the experiences that vibrate on that same note will be activated and brought into your immediate perception. If you vibrate in scarcity, the universe resonates lack. If you vibrate in fullness, doors open without you having to force them. Anchoring is the act of stabilizing this musical note of the soul, preventing the noise of the world from detuning it. This flow without resistance happens because you have stopped fighting against the interdependent nature of all things that exist. In the quantum view, there is no real separation between the observer and the field, only different densities of the same conscious energy. By accepting your value, you remove the informational blocks that caused friction and dissipation of life force in your daily life. Life flows because you have finally stopped swimming against the current of your own limiting beliefs and shadows. The alignment that now takes place is the result of a mind that rests in the present, without the anxiety of the future or the weight of the past. Like a physical system in thermal equilibrium, you stop losing energy to the environment and begin to radiate a magnetic force. This is true mastery, understanding that your only task is to maintain the quality of your vibrational presence in every moment. When you are the anchor point of light, the entire universe organizes itself to sustain your glow. The secret for the universe to open before you lies in the ability to empty yourself of who you believe you are. In physics, the zero-point field is the lowest possible energy state, yet it contains an infinite potential for latent creation. For Buddhism, this state is sunyata, the emptiness that is not absence, but the total openness for everything to come into existence. When you detach from old identities, you access this quantum reservoir from which all realities emerge. The resistance you encounter in life is usually the result of trying to fill a space that is already occupied by memories and fears. By practicing conscious emptying, you remove the informational noise that blocks the reception of high and pure new frequencies. It is in the absolute silence of the zero-point field that your true intention gains the strength to manifest. Without the weight of the past, your consciousness becomes a fertile ground ready to collapse the best possibilities. To understand the void is to understand that the rigid I is an illusion that limits your vibrational expansion and power. If you define yourself in a limited way, the universe only mirrors that limitation in every particle of your daily experience. By embracing emptiness, you become the detached observer who can move through any timeline with freedom. Alignment happens naturally when there is no longer a resistant ego trying to control the flow of the cosmic ocean. In this space of non-form, the right energies find an unobstructed channel to anchor and transform your biology and perception. Quantum physics shows us that the vacuum is teeming with activity and energy ready to be directed by focus. In Buddhism, this is the wisdom that recognizes interdependence. You are the void and, at the same time, the form that fills it. When you accept this dual nature, life stops being a struggle and becomes an expression. By anchoring yourself in the fertile void, you discover that inner power does not come from accumulation, but from the ability to be a channel. The universe opens because it no longer finds the mental barriers you built to protect yourself from the unknown. Fluidity is the natural state of a system that retains nothing, allowing energy to circulate freely. It is in this sacred divestment that you finally choose yourself in your purest, vastest, and most unlimited version. Resistance is the friction that arises when your mind tries to impose a fixed form on the changing flow of the universe. In quantum thermodynamics, systems in harmony operate with minimum entropy, meaning energy is conserved and not wasted on useless conflicts. When you choose yourself and align, you enter the state of wu-wei, effortless action where doing and being become one. Life flows without obstacles because you have stopped fighting against the very nature of reality. In Buddhism, non-resistance is the fruit of detachment, viraga, the recognition that nothing is permanent and that struggle only generates suffering. By anchoring yourself in the right energies, you understand that the universe possesses a self-organizing intelligence that does not need your anxious control. Alignment happens when you let go of the oars and allow the current of consciousness to take you where your frequency resonates. This is not a state of passivity, but of an immense and silent vibrational presence. Imagine an electron moving through a superconductor without losing energy, finding a path of zero resistance. This is how your life is when you decide to trust your inner power and the implicit order of the cosmos. Every time you resist the present, you create an informational dam that prevents new quantum possibilities from reaching your perception. Fluidity is the direct result of a mind that does not oppose what is, transforming every challenge into a stepping stone. The middle way teaches that brute force is an illusion that hides the weakness of a fragmented and disconnected soul. True power manifests in the softness of one who knows that the quantum field has already organized all the details of their success. By aligning yourself, you discover that doors open not because you pushed them, but because your vibration unlocked them. Resistance disappears when the observer stops projecting negative judgments onto the fabric of their own existence. Living in flow is inhabiting the space where your intention and the universal will are notes of the same cosmic symphony. The universe opens for those who walk with lightness, for lightness is the frequency signature of absolute trust in the void. When you choose yourself, you choose to stop fighting and begin to allow light to pass through every pore of your reality. This is the peak of alignment, the moment you become the very flow you once tried to navigate. Maintaining the reality you have chosen requires what physics calls the quantum Zeno effect, the continuous observation that stabilizes a system. If you shift your focus to old fears, the wave function collapses back into patterns of scarcity and resistance. In Buddhism, this is the practice of sati, mindfulness that acts as the guardian of your vibrational frequency. By observing your mind with clarity, you prevent fluctuations from the external world from detuning the pure note you have decided to anchor. Living aligned is not a one-time event, but the deliberate maintenance of your electromagnetic signature in every present moment. When you sustain the vision of your most powerful version, the universe freezes that timeline as your concrete experience. Resistance only returns if you allow the observer to lose self-awareness and get swept away by collective noise. Mastery lies in being the still point in the center of the movement, ensuring that the flow of life never loses its cadence. Every thought is a command sent to the quantum field, an instruction that reinforces or dissolves the reality you are inhabiting. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that mental discipline is the greatest freedom, as it prevents us from being slaves to automatic reactions. By observing your emotions without identifying with them, you keep the channel clean so the right energies continue to flow. The definitive alignment happens when your presence becomes so vast that no external shadow can detune your power. The universe opens permanently for those who dwell in the consciousness of the now, for the now is the only place where the wave function collapse occurs. When you choose yourself repeatedly in every breath, you create a quantum momentum that makes success inevitable and natural. There is no longer a separation between your desire and the manifestation, for you have understood that time is just a variable of perception. You are the master of the frequency, the observer who chooses light even when the surrounding scenery still seems dark. By anchoring yourself in this truth, you discover that life without resistance is your original and sacred state of being. The inner power you have awakened now radiates to all beings, proving that individual alignment is the engine of universal harmony. The universe does not just open for you, it recognizes itself through you in a dance of light, vacuum, and pure consciousness. You are the choice, you are the observer, and you are the reality itself unfolding in infinite perfection. In moments when external noise attempts to obscure your vision and the uncertainties of the quantum field seem to cloud your path, remember that you are the conscious observer and not the storm. By silencing the projections of the ego and returning to the fertile emptiness of your being, you halt the collapse of chaotic frequencies and retake command of your own wave function. Use this affirmation as an anchor of light, allowing each word to reorganize your atoms and tune your heart to the intrinsic harmony of the universe that is now opening for you. In the center of the noise, I am the silence that observes and the 0 point that creates. I now dissolve all resistance and collapse only the reality of my inner power. Uncertainties are but waves. I am the ocean of peace where life flows without effort. Anchored in the frequency of clarity, I allow the universe to open in perfection. I choose myself in this instant, and in this alignment, I find my destiny manifest. If this dive into the intersection of quantum science and Buddhist wisdom resonated with your vibrational field, it's a sign that your timeline has already begun to shift. Leave a comment below with the phrase, "I choose my power," to anchor this frequency right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, we decode the laws of the universe so you can take command of your reality. Share this video with someone who needs to awaken their conscious observer, and remember, the universe only opens when you, finally, decide to choose yourself. See you in the next leap of consciousness.